on a go status.
T-minus 30 seconds.
The morning Mayhem.
TPA script running. Second stage LH2 securing started.
Ready for launch?
Ready to embark on a national security mission for the United States of America.
News Talk 92.
Range green. Igniters armed. Rofi ignition.
KBEU.
4, 3, and liftoff.
The morning mayhem is on. The morning mayhem is pre-recorded and for entertainment purposes only.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
And let's jam here on this here Cinco De Mayo Thursday morning, everybody. Yes, sir. We're getting a day closer to a Friday and a day closer to a weekend at that as well. And don't forget, though, today is also National Prayer Day. We got some strong storms that'll be making an impact on central Arkansas later today. And Quorum Court considers flotation law and approves purchase or rescue boat. Authorities expand search area for the man lost in a boating accident on the Ouachita River. The dogs have their day in court. And Arkansans encouraged to get real ID before the federal requirement takes effect. And 7 things you're wasting your money on and 5 stats, facts, deals for Cinco De Mayo. And it's also National Password Day, too. How do you keep track of yours? All that and more. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Good morning, everybody, here on this Thursday morning. The show is previously recorded, so it's 70 degrees outside right now. And if you look at your phone right now, you'll go, wait a minute, it is 70 degrees outside right now. I don't know how that happened. Currently, though, it is dry outside, and we do have some storms that'll be coming. We'll get into that there just a little bit, but I want to talk about first, today is National Prayer Day because these kind of came in last minute here, as this week, actually, as it is National Prayer Day coming up on Thursday. So there is one that is going on downtown there at the courthouse here in the Ouachita, over there off of Jefferson. So that'll be happening at 6:30 if they haven't canceled it already, because they're expecting severe thunderstorms to be coming in later today. And, of course, we'll get into that later today. But in the meantime, though, they haven't changed anything. I haven't heard anything different, so they still plan on having that there at 6:30 there at the courthouse lawn, and it should be about an hour long. And then, of course, you can, after you get done praying, you can go do your Cinco De Mayo things. And then also, there's a National Day of Prayer event happening at Chidester's Main Street. So all you people over there in Chidester, go over there to the Main Street on Chidester at the Prayer Garden, 12 noon on Thursday. That's today, May 5th. That's today. And if the weather is stormy, it will be inside the Red Schoolhouse. So go ahead and plan on praying anyways. Stormy or not, there will be prayer going and taking place. So if it's not outside, it will be inside the Red Schoolhouse there. You know where that's at. So that's today, okay? So today is National Prayer Day along with Cinco de Mayo. And some things going on there about Cinco de Mayo that you probably didn't know about Cinco de Mayo. Or Cinco de Mayo. I just call it Cinco de Mayo because that's what it looks like. It looks like you get some mayonnaise, put it in the sink, and there you go, Cinco de Mayo. So some stats and facts and things and stuff for Cinco de Mayo Day. Of course, today is Cinco de Mayo, which is not Mexican Independence Day, like many people think that it is. That's in September. So what is this about? Well, a recent poll found 63% of Americans feel confident they know, but do they? Here's some 5 quick stats, though, and deals you can take advantage of today. So Cinco de Mayo marks the anniversary of Mexico's underdog win over France at the Battle of Pablo in 1862. So 160 years ago today, a bunch of mining workers from Mexico celebrated it in California a year later, and that's pretty much how it got started. It's actually more popular in the U.S. than it is in Mexico, though. where it's not even a national holiday. But, it's been Cinco De Mayo since the beer company started using it to market their products in the 1980s. So it's more about drinking than anything else. Do you really need a reason to drink, though? You can find any reason to drink. You can just be like, hey, I made it through the day at work today. Woohoo! Clink, and everybody's drinking. The most popular way to celebrate is typically eating Mexican food and drinking margaritas and celebrating the culture and drinking Mexican beer. They say eating Mexican food. I guess it depends on where you're at. I don't know where I come from, man. It's Tex-Mex all the way, baby. Tex-Mex. And margaritas. Got to have the margaritas. And unfortunately here, I noticed that it's very hard to do that here in Camden because you could get the Mexican food. It's authentic Mexican food. But you can't get margaritas to go with it. Because I used to do that in Hot Springs all the time. Go get me some authentic Mexican food. Give me a big old fishbowl. Boy, I was just playing that one time over there at Salsa's in Hot Springs. And they were like, well, how big of a margarita do you want? I said, go find me a fishbowl and pour margarita in it. And I'll drink it. And they did. They found me a fishbowl, and they made a whole thing of margarita in there. And I drank it. And that thing lasted me the whole weekend, too. So that was a great weekend. But, around here, though, trying to get margaritas along with your Mexican food can be a little complicated. It's a little complex. So, anyhow, is it offensive to dress up in a sombrero or poncho for Cinco de Mayo, though? In a recent poll, 51% of Americans said, it's fine. Only 14% said it's inappropriate. Nobody cares. Okay, that would be like saying, for St. Patrick's Day, you can't do the green stuff. You can't do the, kind of caricature type. Hang on here a second. Dang it, I was doing so good on that, too. Been making progress all week. Anyhow. It's like saying St. Patrick's Day, you can't wear the goofy-looking, leprechaun stuff and green and, doing the whole mockery of, leprechauns and blue diamonds and, green clovers and things like that. And doing the accent as well. And then, of course, drinking green beer. So, you would have to take all that away if you're trying to say that it's inappropriate, but... to sit there and dress up for the occasion, maybe have a little, cartoonish thing about it or something like that. It'd be no different than, doing, do you realize how many people would be upset if you told them that they can't, if you're not Irish, you can't do Irish stuff, and people would be mad. They would. That'd be like saying, okay, if you're not Mexican, you can't do Mexican stuff for Cinco de Mayo. Even though the Americans went over there and helped them out and everything. But anyhow. So 35% weren't sure, and the Anti-Defamation League says, no, don't do it. Right. Yeah, let's talk to the Irish, though, back on St. Patrick's Day. A few big chains are running deals today, like Chili's has $5 cocktails. We got a Chili's around here somewhere. 7-Eleven is selling a new mini spicy breakfast empanadas with any size coffee for $4. Taco John's has 5 tacos for $5.55. Get it? 5. And Chipotle, if you dare, is doing free delivery with the promo code DELIVER. And you can find a lot more deals and stuff just by searching the interwebs. And you'll find all that over there. Other than that, do we have anybody around here that KFC's got a deal going on? You get a free KFC chicken sandwich with a purchase of at least $12 through the KFC mobile app. That's through June 5th. Wendy's, for National Foster Care Month. They're doing that on today for May 5th. Yeah, for National Foster Care Month, grab a free beverage in any size through the Wendy's app with an order. Each time it's done, Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper will donate to the Dave Thomas Foundation for adoption up to $500,000. Let's see. Taco John's got a deal. Bar Louie. We don't have any of those. We don't have a Tijuana Flat. We don't have that. We don't have a Laredo Taco Company. Hungry Howie's. Nope, don't have that. Nope, don't have one of those. Pizza Hut, we had one of those. They got a deal going on there. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Anybody that we have? Yeah. Denny's. Well, not around here. And Red Lobster, if you go to Hot Springs, IHOP, if you can find one around here. And, see, it's pretty much all these big chain names, that we'd love to take advantage of, but none of them want to come here and hang out and do stuff with us, I mean, that's cool, whatever. I mean, be that way. We'll just go spend our money somewhere else. That's cool, whatever. All right, so, and, of course, we got some one-liners here for you. Let's see, or as let's see. Okay, it said stupid one-liners. Today is Cinco de Mayo. Or, as your Mexican coworkers know it, I guess my heritage is nothing but a joke to you day. And another one is it's a day when extreme leftists change their chant to defund the federales. And another one-liner is if you're near Johnny Depp's bed, it's Cinco de Mayo. So there's your one-liners there if you want to dare use those around the office. Woof. So, Cinco de Mayo, National Prayer Day. And, of course, we got National Storm Day. Well, maybe not so much National Storm Day, but we do have some storms coming here in the area. And it's going to get pretty rough from what they're saying. It could get pretty nasty out there. And so if I could find that story there, because I had it here somewhere and I had all that lined up. Yes. So these storms are supposed to be coming through, and supposedly they're going to come late. I guess they're going to get held up in Texarkana or something like that, so they could run a muckery over there and make sure, they finish off Texarkana before they come over here, I guess, is what they mean by running late. I don't know. But they're expecting it to be later in the day. So these storms, it's going to be a strong band that'll be coming through, and the system will be forming in the southern plains Wednesday, and they'll be moving in through today, creating thunderstorms. And some of these could be severe at times, capable of producing damaging wind, tornadoes, and large hail, is what they're saying. So we're not under any watches at the moment. I don't think so. Hang on. I say that, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure, but I don't think so. But let me double check, because I don't think so. Maybe an advisory? Yeah, we got an advisory. Just, that's it. Nothing much. Pollen, that kind of stuff. But anyhow, no watches or warnings currently in effect at this time. And so we're looking at a probably level 2 or 5 for damage. No, the rest of the state will be 2 or 5. We're in a level 3. We're in the forbidden zone, the zone you should not be in. And that's a huge chunk of Arkansas, pretty much everything from up to Heber Springs, all the way down to Texarkana, El Dorado, all that stuff there, Mena, DeQueen. And Mena got slammed pretty good last time we had storms blow through here. And that was when I was putting in the KBEU transmitter and had to do that all by myself because the other engineer got tied up on those projects over there because he had I think he said he had 2 stations. The towers actually fell down. And then he had a bunch of other stations where the stations were off air because of the storms and stuff. So fingers crossed, we got new transmitters here. Hopefully they will do what they're supposed to do and actually make it through the lightning and storms. Man, I was so close, so close. So anyhow, the location that we're in is orange, and that has the highest risk to see damaging wind, damaging hail, and tornadoes. So with this setup on Thursday, the main risk is for straight line winds. And some of these could come up to like 60 miles per hour, and we could see some hail out of this, and possibly some tornadoes. So non-severe thunderstorms will move into northwest Arkansas kind of early Thursday morning, and the risk of damaging storms will enter the western part of the state around 10 a.m. So, and then that'll move west to east throughout the day. These storms will move through the Little Rock Metro within a few hours of noon. So those storms will be out there and coming in. And so we're expected to possibly see some storm activities here on, hang on, because where's my chart at? See, now I'm cheating because now you're going to find out how I can tell you right now it's 70 degrees outside. And you look on your phone and you're like, wait a minute, the show's pre-recorded. How does he know it's 70 degrees outside and it's clear? How does he know that? Well, because I got this little fangle app here that tells me what time exactly what's supposed to happen at what time. It's pretty neat. So let's see here on the what am I looking for? I'm looking for the hourly here. Yeah, there we go, the hourly forecast. So we should start seeing some activity here. Yeah, right about 1. That's when it really kicks in, about 1 in the afternoon. We might see some tinkle tinkles out there about 12 noon or so, but it really gets into the swing of things about 1 p.m. And then, of course, we'll keep you advised on what's going on with that. And then everything should kind of taper out just after midnight. And then Friday, man, Friday's supposed to be beautiful out there as we go into the weekend, too. So that's all going to be beautiful, too. We just got to get through this and make our way, and we'll have to pay that debt to be able to have a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Got to take a break. Be right back. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas, as we are getting into the bottom of the sixth here. 70 degrees outside right now. Feels like 73, a high of 80, but we could see some major storms out there later today. We do have National Prayer Day in effect, so if you are wanting to get in on that, as far as we know of right now, we haven't heard anything different. There is a National Prayer Day. It'll be happening here in Ouachita County at the county courthouse there on the lawn at 6:30, and that's today. On Thursday, Cinco De Mayo, National Prayer Day. And there's another one happening over there in Chittister on Main Street at the Prayer Garden at 12 noon on Thursday. And if the weather gets a little stormy out there, they will move the event inside the Red Schoolhouse. So there you go. Those are the two that I know of that'll be happening there. So you got an early one and you got a later one. And then, of course, after that, when you get done with your National Prayer Day, hey, it's Cinco De Mayo, and you can go outside and celebrate and everything. As long as it's not storming out there and don't get washed away. Don't do that. So they are expecting those storms to be here later today, and that should show up start around 12 noon, and you start seeing some real heavy activity after 1 p.m. today. And, of course, if anything does happen, like, tornadoes and stuff, hail, you're on your own. Wind and damaging wind and rain and stuff, you're on your own. But when it comes to tornadoes, well, we'll track them and let you know where they are in relation to where you are. And if you should be moving or whatever it is that you need to be doing. But we'll definitely let you know with that. So let's see. So we got those there. And let's see. No update, though, on the incident out on the river. Currently right now, just not much going on out there. Talked with one of the sheriff's deputies out there and asked any progress. And they said no, they're still looking out there. They're expanding their search a little bit, though. And hang on, they are expanding their search, and what I do with it? Wow, what did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it. Oh, wait a minute, I know what I did with it. It's over here. It's over here now. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I got too many windows open. That's my problem. Too many windows are open. Anyhow, did talk with them, sheriff's department out there, and they said that they're still continuing to search. I asked them about what's going to happen, if you're out there searching and the storms kick in. They're going to do their best to get out early today and start looking before the storms come in, because those storms are expected to start blowing in around 12 noon, one the latest. And, of course, they want to be out of the river and in a safe zone there before all that hits. So they are taking and expanding the search over and everything because, wow. Oh, that's why it's doing that. Okay, because the thing keeps, never mind. I've got a web browser that keeps flipping me back to its site because I have it in the background, and it's really throwing me off. Okay, all right, So anyhow, we kind of gave us a little story yesterday about the backstory of how everything led up to that moment, and you, of course, catch that on the podcast. That's already up there, so get your favorite podcast app or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and go up there because it's up on iHeart, Spotify. It's up on the Facebook page for Doc Bryce. It's up there on the Facebook page for Radio Works. It's in all your favorite platforms there, iTunes as well, iHeart, all that stuff. And you can find that up there and listen to the backstory that built up to this moment in time around approximately 12:30 p.m. on the Saturday when all this stuff went. So it has been confirmed, though, that it is Mark Merritt that went overboard along with his wife. But his wife made it to shore, and she called 911, and that's when all the recovery efforts began. And so, oh, I see how it's going to be. All right. Okay, I get it. You guys are fighting me over here. The web browser screens are sitting there popping back and forth and trying to, they throw me off. So anyhow, we've got the backstory on that, and you can listen to that on the podcast. So Judge McAdoo says that the search area has been expanded, noting that they've broadened their search pattern downriver more, and added that they needed that he'd been notified if discovery. He hasn't been notified about any discovery made, and plus that rumor that was going around. I was asked about that again. Supposedly, what it was is, the sheriff's department found Merritt, but they can't get to him because he's like wedged or lodged into something, but he's way down deep in the river. The deepest part of the river there could ever be, like down so deep like the Loch Ness Monster's down there with him. And he's wedged down there, so they're like, there he is, but we can't get him. Oh, darn luck. So, and that's supposedly the rumor that's going around, but that's not true. None of that is true. That's why I make light of it. It's not true. Nobody spotted him as of yet. Judge hasn't been notified. Sheriff hasn't been notified. And the deputies out there looking have nothing to notify anybody about because they haven't found anything yet. The search continues. Judge continues on saying, I don't think if we get any rain on Thursday that it's going to change the dynamics of the river for at least 2 or 3 days. The river was at 28 feet when all this happened on Saturday. I went out there on Tuesday to go take a look about, and it was down at 21.3 feet. And so there's been a significant drop, and of course with that though, that'll of course widen the banks of the river and hopefully make the search a little bit easier. But of course, we are expecting some heavy rains to come through and all that, but that could take a couple days for that to actually affect the river. So and this is the third drowning in the Ouachita River this year. So you've got I said Peterson yesterday, Robertson, who drowned in there. And right about where all this is happening is where Robertson fell in, just between the electric plant and the water facility treatment plant. So right up in there. And then, let's see. So you had Robertson, and then you had the family up in Ouachita Lake, which, even though we call it Ouachita Lake, that is the river head. That's where Ouachita River starts. So you had that there, and they were wearing life preservers, and they believe that, they don't know about the father, because I still haven't heard if they've recovered the father or not. They recovered the children, and the children were in life preservers, but they think is what happens when they fell out of the boat, they weren't able to get out of the water, and they may have stayed in the water too long and succumbed to the cold temperatures of the water, because this was back in February. So, the water was still pretty cold. So they may have succumbed to the hypothermia. And then you had Robertson, and then you had Cooper, and Cooper, and then you've got Merritt. So yeah, that would be 3, right? Am I missing someone? I don't think I'm missing anybody, but it has definitely been a little tricky there on the Ouachita River. And so, of course, we know how crazy that river can get. And, it's a river, and it's huge, and it's got undertows and things like that, and it can be very dangerous. And, a lot of the locals around here, they swim in it like it's nothing because, when you're raised around something like that, you know the do's and don'ts. It's just kind of one of those things that's understood and taught to you as a child. But, for us outsiders, we don't know that. We just go, oh, look, it's the pretty river. We jump in there, splash about. Next thing you know, we're floating down the river into Louisiana. So a group of local residents approached the Ouachita County Quorum Court on Thursday, and they proposed a safety ordinance. And they advocated for flood safety awareness, especially after the recent drownings on the river. Sherry Stillman, speaking on behalf of the group, she read a letter with several policy proposals. Now, they did come up to city council when they had city council meeting last month, and they proposed this. But thing was, though, the mayor's like, I don't have much authority over that. Can't really do much for you. But come to find out, they did a little bit more research after that, and this group discovered that, hey, wait a minute. The county has more jurisdiction over this than the city does. So let's go talk to county. And that's when they decided to go to Quorum Court to go talk to these people here to see what they could get done. Let's see. I got to get into a break here. So I'm going to hold this. Let me hold this till after the bottom because I don't want to get into it and then have to get cut off and then go into the break. So in the meantime, if you are catching the show after hours or not being able to catch the show live, Don't forget, we got the podcast. It's been working like a champ. Just as good as Facebook Live used to. The only thing was, though, is Facebook Live was live and we were live, but now we're taped. And so we can't really do Facebook Live much anymore, but we found a way to accommodate that. And you guys, man, I mean, y'all are picking up on it, and y'all are doing a great job out there, and I am just so impressed how you guys adapt so fast here to technology, because I was really worried that it was going to be too complicated and y'all weren't going to mess with it. But, man, y'all are messing with it, and you're picking up the show. And all I can see is that y'all are downloading it into your phones, and that's it. So that's about all I know, and I don't get the demographics, more male or females. Last we knew of, the females were leading the lead when it came to the morning show. All right, stick around. I got to take this break. Be right back. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. National Prayer Day today. Got those events going on. Don't know yet if the one in here in Ouachita County has been canceled or not. We'll find out later, because that's supposed to be on the courthouse lawn at 6:30. It could be storming by 6:30. I say this just as I think about it, but hang on, because I want to say their names right. The people over here who I have there it is. Okay, yes, the Camden Young Professionals that are, hang on. Yes, Camden Young Professionals Network. They were having an event that was going to happen today for Cinco de Mayo, and they were doing that out there at the local brewery, and they were going to have like food trucks out there, and they were going to have drink specials and all this other stuff and everything, and, it was supposed to be fun, and they were doing a fundraiser, so, there's going to be cover and everything. But because of the storms that are coming in, they're like, no. So they had to postpone it. They're going to reschedule that for another time, but they had to postpone that there, and in fear that the storms were going to come in and pretty much just ruin everything. However, though, all the stuff is expected to push out by midnight, so Friday's supposed to be a pretty clear day and should dry everything up. And First Friday should still be on for what it is. And they're going to be selling Cinco de Mayo a day later, because, First Friday falls on the first Friday of the month, and Cinco de Mayo happens to be the first Thursday of the month. And so the two, it's right there in the name and the title and everything. First Thursday, First Friday. Yeah, it's like oil and water, man. They just don't mix. So they're going to wait till First Friday to celebrate Cinco de Mayo a day later, which is fine, man, because you're going into the weekend anyways, baby. So that'll be 6 to 9 tomorrow that the marketplace will be open. We also got the other National Day of Prayer event happening in Chittister over there off of Main Street at Prayer Garden at 12 noon today. And as long as weather's permitting, that will be right there at the Prayer Garden. And if not, if the weather starts getting a little stormy out there, they will move everything inside the Red Schoolhouse. So you've still got that opportunity to be able to do that. So, if you're here in Camden and can't make that one, or you're just in too much fear that it will get canceled because it's at 6:30 and the rain could wash that one out, that just go to the one over there in Chidester, and that'll be happening at 12 noon today. So there you go. All right. So, yeah, you got your places where you can go do your prayers and stuff. Just before the break, we were talking about the Ouachita River, and we were talking about the dangers of that. No progress so far on Mark Merritt, but we do have a group that came to the Ouachita County Quorum Court to discuss, some safety ordinance and things like that, and to advocate for flood safety awareness following the recent events. So during the city council meeting, they presented this thing called Cooper's Law, and it's referring to the 17-year-old Cooper Daughtry who drowned in the river back in March. And Sherry Stillman said that this group wanted to propose a rapid emergency report system to be installed at the Riverwalk at the Camden Port, where she said the majority of swimming and boating activities occur. And she said it would be a direct communication with rescue authorities and emergency personnel should they be accessed only in an emergency, and with deliberate actions with a fire alarm. As with a fire alarm. So life rings secured near the water and attached to an extension ropes and things like this should also be part of their emergency assistance area. And this location should be monitored via video surveillance, so that way appropriate notifications such as monitoring and stuff like that, to hear false alarms. So Stillman said the group had researched such a reporting system, and said the devices for all the above mentioned installation to occur promptly. So the law was previously proposed to the city Camden City Council. That's where Mayor Julian Lott noted that he didn't have purview over the entry points, though. So Stillman and the group did a little bit more research, and they come to find out that, guess what? Quorum Court does. And so they went over there and talked to old Judge McAdoo and the JPs and said, hey, we sure would like for you to do something about this. And so they advocated for an education of 501c3, the Ouachita County Safety Coalition, that would go into schools to teach river safety. And pretty much said, you know what, if you grew up here in Camden, Harmony Grove, around the area, you know the dangers of the river. And but have so many people in the community that have no idea the power that river has, especially when you're talking about the undertows and all that. And, well, you know, I mean, you get these city folk in there like me, you know, we from the big city, and we're not used to, you know, our experience with large bodies of water is typically a swimming pool. And we don't play in the natural waters because that's where natural things occur, you know, like you got fish in there. You don't swim where the fish are. You don't want to swim with the fish. And it's got that murky-looking water where you can't see your toes either, so you don't want to be swimming in there. We like to swim in nice, clear water that's, you know, concrete, where you can see your toes. And you got a lifeguard there. But, you know, city folks, sometimes they get out, they get outside their city limits, and they start messing around, and they're like, oh, look at this. I've never done this before. This is kind of different. Let's check this thing here out and see what this thing here does. And, yeah, we'll do that. And, yeah, it's bad. And bad things can happen from there. So with that, though, see, you got to be careful with that because that could get very bad. And so, of course, you need education and everything else to teach people how to what they need to do to be able to stay away from that. So there is that. Hey, real quick, I need to take another break. I'll be right back. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Horn it out. Bring in the horns. News Talk 92, KBEU. The news and talk of South Arkansas. Getting a little better here on the sniffles and the voice. It has definitely been a rough week with that. But we're making it. We're getting through it. Just before the break, we were talking about the coalition that talked to the Ouachita County Quorum Court, asking for some help and installing some policies and laws and things like that, and things to several policy proposals to help reduce the danger. Well, not so much reduce the dangers, but reduce the problem with people falling in the river. And I mean, you can't eliminate. The only way you can really eliminate the dangers of the river is just drain the river. Do it for the children. Think of the children. Just drain the river. But then, if you drain the river, then what do you have? Then you have people still falling into the river, but now they're falling to their death because the river is empty, and they're like, oh, and they're falling off the cliff down, and they hit the bottom, and yeah. And see, now you've got another problem. So then what do you have to do? You have to put rails up. But then you know what happens? People want to do selfies and stuff. They sit on the rails break, and then they're down again. So the only thing to do after that, once you drain the river, you just going to fill it up with concrete, make it even. So that way, you know, if you just there's no falling hazards or anything. No drowning hazards, no falling hazards, nothing to trip over or anything like that. You just pour concrete in there, smooth it out, and make it level with the rest of the land. Poof, there you go. No more problems. That's not feasible, though. So we got to find a different way to be able to keep people safe out there. And, of course, using life rings, setting up a type of alarm system and some video surveillance and things like that, so that way first responders can see what's going on out there. Now, these will be all at the public access points, though. Unfortunately, like this situation here, Mark Merritt and his wife, they launched from Sandy Beach, which is a public entry point. But the incident didn't occur until they got down to a remote area of the river, and that being between the electric plant and the water treatment plant. So that's where things kind of got a little different there. So, I mean, you know, you still have to... you can still try and get the point to where you've got like we're talking about with the video surveillance, you know, you've got the life rafts out there, or the life preservers and things and stuff. But here's the problem, though. It only works when you're near those public areas. So, like, if you're swimming there or something like that, you just happen to still be in that area and something bad happens, then, and that's the other thing, too. Don't ever swim alone. So something happens, and you got somebody who can grab that and throw that to you and pull you in. But thing is, though, is that once you get away from those areas and you're down the river, you're kind of on your own, and you're pretty much dependent on your own resources to be able to, save yourself, if you will. So when it comes to that, you need to keep in mind that it is Arkansas state law that if you are on a floating device like a boat, you need to have life preservers on that boat, one for each adult and children too. And it's not required by law that you wear them, but it is required by law that they be on the boat. So we got that part taken care of, right? So we got life preservers and stuff on the boat. Well, we need to put them on our bodies because things can happen. And I know some people are, they'll say, well, I'm a good swimmer. I swim pretty good. But, being a good swimmer don't do you any good when you're unconscious because there's no such thing as an unconscious good swimmer, unfortunately. So you got to, we're meeting you halfway. So if we could get all these wonderful safety devices and stuff up front for public access, that's great because that's half the battle. The other part of the battle is trying to make sure that people do what they're supposed to do when they're out there on the river to make sure that they're safe. And that's where education on the river comes in. So they're talking about being able to go into the schools and everything and teach safety on the river for the younger kids, so that way they understand it's instilled to them that, when they see somebody not wearing their life preserver, to say, hey, you need to put on your life jacket, man. You can't get in this boat, man, without your life jacket, man. Or we ain't leaving port. Instead of just being like, oh, man, life preservers them for wussies. I'm no wussy. I'm a good swimmer. So anyhow, that's part of the education there with that is just to, instill that into children. And then, of course, they'll, use that as it's no different than teaching them to wear their seatbelt. What do they do now? They just automatically put on their seatbelt. So with no vote taken on Thursday, the general consensus is the Quorum Court was to draft a law with the help of county attorney and present it for a vote. In addition, the ordinance was passed by the court to purchase a rescue boat. So Judge Mack says that because of the recent health safety issues on the river, we have old equipment. And to be honest with you, it's not dependable. It was donated, and they've upgraded one motor on one boat to a 4-stroke engine, and it's dependable. It's been running every day up and down the river. And we got to get another big boat. So the court voted unanimously to approve $50,000 to purchase a new boat, and that'll be built over in Fordyce by Havoc Boats. So as of Wednesday afternoon, the recovery crews are still looking, though, for Mark Merritt, and followed up with them, and they're just like, yeah, still no luck. And so they're going to continue on. They're probably out there right now because one of them was saying they're getting out there at the crack of dawn as soon as they can to get the search going as fast as they can, because those storms are expected to get in here by between 12 noon and 1 o'clock. So that's really going to limit their hours of being able to search. So that's really going to cut their day in half. So they're going to try and utilize as much daylight and everything that they can to be able to have some closure to this, because I know there's a lot of people out there looking for closure right now. So with that, though, still thoughts and prayers out to the families as well. So just be careful out there on the river, man. We wished everybody a great weekend last weekend, and we said, have a great weekend. Be careful out there on the river because the river was already swollen. It was already up over 28 feet. And sure enough, some things happen. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying things happen. Life happens. And when it does, it happens fast. And so you got to be prepared for that. And that's why I'm telling you, if you're going out on the lake, if you're going out on the river, wherever it is you're going, if you're going to be in a boat in a body of water, you need to wear a life preserver. In fact, we've got the fishing derby tomorrow, and that'll be happening out there at Camden Fairview High School, and kids 15 and under are more than welcome to come fish, bring a pole, bring some stuff, and get out there in the fishing derby and win some fabulous prizes. Now, JJ and I will be broadcasting live, and we'll see if we actually get to get into the Camden Police Department pontoon party barge and be able to. It is a party barge. I mean, you look at it and you're like, that's a party barge. Just because it says CPD on it doesn't mean that you can't party on that thing, because that's what that thing was originally designed to do, was party barge. And so we'll be broadcasting live out there, and you will see us. We will be wearing our life preservers. I hope so. They better have some on there because I don't want to sit there and say this on the air and then people are like, hey, I thought Doc Bryce said they were going to be wearing life preservers. I don't know me. While the extension cord is running from, the outlet into the pond and then, out of the pond into the boat so we can run our equipment. Yeah, I know. It makes no sense whatsoever, right? You're like, wait a minute. So anyhow, I'm going to push for it too, even though it's a little pond. And you're thinking, it's a pond, but man, you never know, dude. I mean, all it takes is just a couple feet of water and get knocked unconscious. Dude, you glug. That's it. That's all there is to it. It doesn't matter how big you are if you're 6'3" like me, or it doesn't matter how strong you are. Like me, 6'3", and if you get knocked unconscious, you get knocked unconscious. And I mean, no strength or swimming or anything is going to save you because you're unconscious. That's what the life preserver there, or the life jacket's for. It's to help keep you afloat so you can actually breathe until somebody can come over and rescue you. So, yeah, just cannot stress that enough. So, let's see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, did y'all hear about Dave Chappelle? Got attacked, of all things, Tuesday night? Yeah, that was a little crazy, man. So supposedly what happened was he got attacked on stage Tuesday night, and it wasn't immediately clear what kind of weapon the guy had. Was it a gun? Was it a knife? What was it? Could it have been a fake gun, a fake knife? Well, it turns out it was a real knife sticking out of a fake gun. So the blade sticks out of the barrel, sort of like a bayonet, but you can also fold it back like a switchblade or a lock blade. So there were metal detectors at the venue, but TMZ says that there was one entrance where this guy could have gotten around them. Speaking of said assailant, he actually a wannabe rapper who realized a song in 2020 called Dave Chappelle. Oh, he released a song. It's called Dave Chappelle in 2020. But spelled Dave's last name without the last E. He spelled it Chappell. Chappelle. Yeah. And it's got a bunch of profanity and stuff in there. I'd play it for you. We could debut it here, but can't do it because there's got a lot of profanity in there. So Chappelle's rep issued a statement yesterday calling the attack an unfortunate and unsettling, but said Dave refused to let it, quote, overshadow the magic of Netflix is a joke event. So had that going on. And then, let's see, today's password day as well as Cinco de Mayo and National Prayer Day. So when you're supposed to make sure all your passwords are really secure enough, a new poll looked at how we keep track of them, and a lot of us still, just rely on memory. Remembering them, 50% of us do it with at least some of our passwords. Yeah, that would be me. It's pretty much how I do it. There's a good old, just remembering those. Writing them down, 32%. A separate surveys found that 40% of us have used Post-it notes. And using a password manager, 30% of us use them now. And keeping track of your computer, on your computer, 23%, like, your notes, apps, and stuff like that, spreadsheets and what have you. Email, 20%, like emailing them to yourself or relying on emails to change them when you forget. And some other quick stats, 85% of us still use the same passwords on multiple sites. 24% need to reset their passwords at least twice a week. And over half of us usually use passwords that are between 9 and 15 characters. A report we saw back in March found anything under 6 characters is instantly crackable now. In general, it takes at least 12 characters to be somewhat secure. So today is National Password Day, so I guess get in there and reset all your passwords and everything and have fun with that, right? Yeah, I have a theme that I use. And I have several different themes that I use, and then I just change it up based on that. So it's a theme that has something to do with something, and then you have this code, this number sequence behind it, and poof, there you go, there's password. So that way, when I go to that site, I'll remember what it is because I know that theme, and then I know that the part of the theme is also linked to the site itself of what the site is doing, so, without giving away too much there. Oh, by the way, you need to get some real ID before that federal requirement takes effect, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, we keep holding it off. The first time it was because, it's too soon. People aren't doing it fast enough. They were like, all right, so October of 2020, it's going to go into effect. And then what happened? It was like, no, COVID, can't do it. So there was that, and then they pushed it off again. But now they're saying starting May 3rd of 2023, real IDs will be required on board for domestic commercial flights and to enter secure federal buildings. Now, the reason everyone hasn't obtained a real ID is because simply just it's a little more complicated than that, though. You got to have, you got to find your birth certificate, you got to find a passport, you got to find all these different things. And if you don't know where they are, you got to file for a copy of one, so that way, you can get one. In Arkansas, the cost is $10 if the existing expiration date is transferred from a regular license to an ID or real ID. The cost is $40 if a new expiration date, a full 8 years, is established on the real ID. And getting a real ID does require some extra paperwork, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. A person must have documents showing their full legal name, date of birth, social security number, 2 proofs of address, and lawful status. Whew. Your passport, birth certificate, or visa in the first category. The second category, just anything, your driver's license, concealed carry permit, your hunting or fishing license, your work or school ID, something that shows your identity. And then third, your residency. And you have to have 2 of those documents, so it can be a gas bill, water bill, or electric bill, or something like that. So be prepared and get ready for that, because that will be coming up. Don't get surprised when all of a sudden you're out there trying to, get your stuff done, and then you realize, oh, wait a minute, hey, I don't have a real ID. All right, top of the hour news up next. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Welcome here to the 7 o'clock hour. We've got the roundtable up next. Hopefully we'll have Dr. Jared Smith come in. If you got questions or anything you want to ask the doctor, you're more than welcome to do that. 501-313-0944 is the anonymous tip line where you can pose your question, thoughts, concerns, anything like that. Put that in there, and nobody will know it's you except you. Unless you tell us it's you, that's the only way we're going to know it's you. Other than that, we don't know it's you because you only know that it's you. Yeah. News Talk 92 KBEU. Oh, man. Keeping track of passwords. Things going on out there at the river. Dave Chappelle getting attacked. Cinco De Mayo day as well. And things you're just wasting money on. I'm telling you, times are tough right now for a lot of people. And every cent counts, right? And we're just wasting money. Just don't even think about us wasting money or anything like that. So here's a few things you might be wasting your money on each month. Subscriptions you don't use, like magazines or streaming services you don't watch. A study last year found that 70% of us waste more than $50 a month on stuff like that. Dude, I tell you what. Hang on here a second. Hang on. Let me see if I can do this here. Because, the reason why I say this, though, is because I found this, and I think this is like the neatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It is. And it really works great if you have it. Oh man, dagnabbit, really? I gotta put in that 2-factor authorization thing. I gotta do there. I mean, it works. At least there's that. So I got that going for me. So okay, because that's what I thought. Yes. No. It does not. Well, how do I? Okay, I mean, okay. Well, hang on here a second, because I want to know what that is. Oh, shoot. Yeah, you got to use this thing there. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I will take and put this up on the Facebook page, because, I want credit for this, man. I do. I want credit for this. If you follow the link here. Well, it doesn't matter, because you know what? You'll end up just using the link anyway, so that really wouldn't matter. Just do this. No, you know what? I'll just put you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to get a referral out of that anyways. I'm just not. So the thing is you could use this thing called privacy.com. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And is what's really neat is with it is that you can set up, it's basically burner credit cards. And so you can set some up that you can say, okay, on this, particular credit card, I only want it to do no more than $20 a month, or, set a limit on it. Or it could be something that you've budgeted out and it's specifically used for that thing. So here's the thing, though. You can also make burner cards. So say like, Hulu's doing a deal, get it for like, free for 30 days. And then, of course, after 30 days, recurring fee will start charging until you cancel it, right? So you forget to cancel it. What happens? Well, now they got you because, oh, man, I forgot to cancel that thing. So what you do is you set up a little burner credit card. And then you go through and you set that up, you put that information in there and everything, and you tell it it's a burner card. So it's going to only take the charge one time because they may ping it for $1. It could be, to make sure that the card's good. Or it could be that they charge you a nominal fee to get it going. And then after that, it's at regular price after 30 days. But the thing is, though, is once that card is pinged and done, it's dead. So that way, when they come back in 30 days and you forgot to shut it off, they come and charge on that card, and that card's no good. And guess what? Ta-da! You don't get charged anymore. It's linked to your account and everything, your checking account, however you want to set it up. And it's great. I freaking love it. It's called privacy.com, and you can go up there and set up your own little private credit cards and stuff. It's neat. Little burner cards. Sell items you don't need. It's another thing we waste our money on. So next time you're tempted, wait a day. The initial excitement will wear off, and you'll think to yourself, I don't want that, and you'll think to yourself too. ATM fees, they can add up, especially if you take out small amounts all the time. Another option is to cash back to get cash back at grocery stores, and some of them don't charge a fee for that. Food waste. Up to 40% of food in the U.S. never gets eaten. Overbuying and trusting those Best Buy dates too much both play a role. Extended warranties, they're usually not worth it either. You're better off just putting the money in an emergency savings for unexpected expenses. Overpaying for insurance. If you have been with the same company for a while, shop around. They probably raise rates, but new customers usually get discounts. The other thing is, too, is you can also kind of haggle with your old insurance company and tell your agent, hey, you know what, I've been with you for 5, 8, 10 years, and where's the savings? And then, if you tell them, well, you know what, I found a better deal over here, you never know, and sometimes they can actually reason with you. Because, you got that rapport with your agent, and you don't want to just sit there and dump your agent and go with a new agent and then have to start all over again. And then, every 6 months you're having to find a new agent because, somebody's got a better deal. Credit card interest. Fees and interest cost the average American household about $1,000 a month, so do what you can to avoid using them. Consolidation loan with a lower interest rate could also help take care of that as well. Something else you could do, you probably never thought of, is if you have a house and you have and you've got equity in it, that things that you normally cannot get credit on for, or tax credit on for paying off, say like student loans. I'm just saying, when it comes to student loans, a lot of times you don't get any tax benefits of that. You just pay the thing off and, do what you do. What you can do is if you could pull it off, you could take your pretty much anything that you have a debt on, like student loans, and you can get a cash out refi on your house. And remember, this is not real estate advice because I'm no longer licensed a real estate agent. So talk to your real estate person and financial person about this and back that up. This is just a suggestion. So you could take and get a cash out refi, take that, and then pay off, if you have enough to pay off your student debt, pay off your student debt. Now, here's the thing, though. When you're doing your taxes, whatever it is that you have on your house, you can write that off. So you can actually take something and write that off if you tuck it up underneath your house payment. Or, a cash out refi or something like that. So consolidating your debt would be a great way of doing that. And that way you can get all that paid off. And then the only thing you got to worry about is one payment and one debt instead of all those little itty-bitty debts all spread all over the place. So there's another way of doing that as well. Talk to your bank, financial institution about that. Don't take it from me because I am not a financialist and I'm no longer licensed as a real estate person. So I'm just putting that out there. So talk to your broker, talk to your finance people and all that stuff there, and y'all figure it out. And find out what plan is best for you. That's the best thing you can do. So, people wasting money on. Just saying, man, you got to be careful with that. Don't want to be sitting there wasting money on stuff, Some other things going on here as well. We're waiting on those storms to come in. That'll be coming in later today. And, of course, with that, though, you've got potential for some thunder boomers out there. Could be seeing some activity with that could be causing some problems later today, and that could be a very bad thing. So we don't want that. And, of course, you keep it right here, and we will keep you up to date and informed on what's going on, so that way if things do get a little out of hand, that's okay. Hopefully we could get that information out to you. So, of course, we'll break into regular programming and let you know about that. So there's that going. So that should be happening between 12 and 1, and a lot of events that were planned today. Now, you got the National Day of Prayer that'll be happening today at the courthouse lawn here in Ouachita County. And Camden, that's at 6:30, but haven't heard anything different if that's going to be canceled or not, because, well, they haven't said anything because the storms that could be coming in. Now, your young professionals of Camden, oh, man, I had just pulled that up, too. The Camden Young Professionals Network, I keep messing that up, switching them around and stuff, had plans today for Cinco de Mayo, and they canceled or rescheduled those for a later date. They had food trucks, food festivals, and drinks and parties and all kinds of shenanigans and everything planned for today, but they went ahead and pushed that back because they are worried about the weather being bad. Chittister is having the prayer thing today at noon, so that way if you want to get out for that, that's happening there at 12 noon at the Prayer Garden there in Chittister. And, of course, if it does get a little stormy there around noon, which is when they're expecting all this stuff to come in, they will move that into the Red Schoolhouse. So that's where they will be moving that into. And that's pretty much everything I've got going on for today. And it's expected to get a little crazy out there. So we could be seeing some of that stuff there. And, of course, we got the roundtable coming up. So, be getting those questions ready for the doctor there and be doing those. And, make sure you got good health hygiene and stuff there, like washing your hands. You got to wash your hands. Remember, and I don't know why, it was because, when COVID hit, everybody's like, hey, we should be washing our hands. Like, you should have been washing your hands before COVID. Just saying, though. Come to find out, though, women wash their hands 8 times a day. Men only wash their hands 5 times. So it's been more than 2 years since the universe reminded us that we should be washing our dag-burned tootin' hands. So it's time to check up on how that's going. And, well, it's not good. No. The annual health hand-washing survey, who knew that they had an annual healthy hand-washing survey, has found that American adults are washing their hands 25% less than in 2020. We were washing our hands about 10.5 times per day in the spring of 2020, but that's down to 7.8 times per day now. On average, women say they wash their hands 8 times a day, and on average, a man washes their hands 5 times a day. Well, I guess it depends on what you all touching up on and everything and putting your fingers in. I'm just saying, you might need to wash your hands a little bit more compared to everybody else. I'm just saying, it could get a little tricky out there. Let's see. Forget about the COVID stuff. Guys, this falls below the bathroom baseline. According to urologists, the average person pees 6 to 8 times per day. So and I have seen them too, especially, that's so nasty. When you're at the buffet, man, it makes me not want to eat at the buffet anymore because you see that guy in the bathroom there with you, and you're at the urinal doing your thing, and you kind of happen to, he's at the urinal doing his thing. Yeah, because I'm like, where's the mirror at? No, the mirror's at, so you're washing your hands, right? So you're doing your hand stuff and everything. You're washing your hands. And you happen to look up, and you see the dude just walk by. He just got done doing tinkles, and he's just walking on by behind you. You look up in the mirror, and you see him. He's just trucking on by. And you're like, ooh, ooh, and stuff. And then that dude's going to go out on the buffet line. He's going to sit there and put them nasty hands all up in the utensils and everything, and all up in your food and all that. He's going to be sitting there digging them little finger trowels and all that up in your rice and stuff, and then scraping it onto his plate, and then you're going to have to eat behind him. Dude, that is so nasty. And guys, man, they do it with pride, too. They're like, I don't want to wash my hands. I'm a man. I didn't touch nothing. Don't need to touch nothing. I'm a man. Yeah, because, ew, it's just freaking nasty. The CDC recommends washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. 63% of people say they do that, while 17% say they wash about 5 to 10 seconds. And this is why I'm okay fading out handshakes for good. You know, germs are one thing, but washing your hands fewer times than you're using the bathroom is just nasty. I mean, am I crazy about this? Because, I mean, think about it. I see guys behind me looking up in the mirror while I'm washing my hands. I see them walking out of the restroom, and they're just walking out like it's nonchalant. You know, nonchalant, and it's nothing to be walking out the bathroom, not washing their hands, and then you don't know that because you didn't see it. And then they want to be like shaking up on your hands and stuff and everything with the little pee-pee hands. Nobody wants to be shaking up on pee-pee hands. I'm just saying. Ooh. And then they're going to run their pee-pee hands all up through your food in the buffet and everything. Especially if you're eating sushi. You don't want pee-pee hands up all up on your sushi and everything. It's nasty because then they put it on the little tongs there and then the tongs. And then they put it on a plate and it transfers and everything else. And then you got pee-pee hands everywhere. It's just nasty. So, yeah, I'm okay with getting rid of handshakes, man. A little fist bump, whatever. That's cool, man. You give a fist bump. That's cool. That's cool, whatever. But I hate doing the pee-pee hands. All right, I got to take a break. Be right back. News Talk 92. KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. The roundtable is up next.